Hello, how are you? I hope everyone is great today. Today starts the last week of the Johnny Depp trial. And at this point, the defense is still doing some testimonies with Amber's witnesses. And my opinion has not changed about anything. If anything, it has strengthened my opinion that she is, I hate to say lying, but lying or embellishing events that happen between the two of them. Her, her direct testimony was so, I mean, it just felt like she was telling stories rather than relaying true situations. Um, a lot of dry crying where there were no tears coming out of her eyes, but she was, acting like she was crying. And now let me just make this clear. I'm not a Johnny Depp fan. I've never watched any of his movies. I know of him. So I haven't really come into this with a biased opinion, to tell you the truth. Don't know who AH is. I've never heard of her. But I just started watching it, just for something to do one day, and I got really enthralled with it. So I am not talking from a biased opinion of Johnny Depp, just from what I've seen, from his testimony, from his witnesses, from her testimony with her lawyers, and then Camille Vasquez just killing it with her questions to Amber. And I'm telling you, my feelings are so much stronger towards Johnny Depp. Okay. Now, these are two, I would say, very emotional people, and they were in a toxic relationship. That is obvious. But I do feel like she is embellishing a lot of things and possibly lying. All right. I've been watching YouTube. I've been watching, lawyers' reactions to it. And anybody that I see in the comments who are DV victims, they all say, and I agree, that the way this woman talks to him in these many recordings that she made is not a woman who is a victim, simply because you're usually afraid of someone who is not being so nice to you physically, right? You're usually petrified. You are not going to taunt them. You are not going to say horrible things to them, because if you do, you're going to wind up paying for it, right? And she has shown no fear whatsoever. Okay. She may say that she's afraid, but not from what you hear in the recordings and how she treats him. She's always the aggressor. Most of the time, he's calmer. He's trying to either get away from her, or he's trying to talk about it instead of, the fighting and the physical. She has admitted on these recordings that she has hit him. So, my thoughts are that, as far as the DV goes and the SA goes, who knows? I there's no proof of it. She has no proof. She has no medical records that she has shown to show the many injuries that she claims she has had. The witnesses that have been on the stand for her, of course, are going to say, yes, they saw bruises. Yes, they saw this. Yes, they saw that. But those are her witnesses, all right? And I don't put it past anyone to perjure themselves for her because I would be afraid of her myself. She is seems to be a very vindictive person and a very manipulative person. So I really think that the truth from all of these people isn't necessarily the truth. That's just my opinion, okay? That's just my opinion. I've talked about this in part one. Uh, I'm a victim of DV, and I know that if I talked about this on the stand, and many other uh, people who have been treated this way in the comments say, never in a million years would I talk to anybody like that. Would I even talk so candidly and calmly about that on a stand? Most people are weeping. They're having a hard time talking. Their heads are down. They don't want to talk about it, but they have to. I think you see where I'm coming from, right? Uh, this woman is just too calm talking about these things, and they sound more like stories rather than the truth. One thing that a lawyer pointed out in one of these videos that I watched was she started a narrative, and then there was an objection, and then the judge said, it's okay, overruled, go ahead. She started over her narrative from the beginning and then went forward. Something like that is definitely fishy. Definitely fishy. So, my thoughts right now are that I don't believe that she is a victim. I do believe that he is. Now, this trial is supposed to be determining if the op-ed that she did for the Washington Post in 2018 defamed Johnny Depp, because in her title she talked about being a DV victim. In the piece, in the article, she talks about being a DV victim from over 2 years ago. 2 years ago, she was married to him. So the implication was that he did this to her. And this is why he is suing, because he feels that this op-ed that she did defamed him and ruined his reputation in Hollywood and ruined his chance at doing Pirates of the Caribbean 6. So, and then she's counterclaiming for 100 million because of the fact that his lawyer stated that her allegations are a hoax. And she's saying they're not a hoax, so she is countersuing for 100 million. Now, I really don't think Johnny is worried about the money. I really think he just wanted to get his side out and his voice heard. And for that, he's done that. And from what I'm seeing on the internet, he has won the approval of the public. The public supports Johnny Depp. And we believe him. So he has definitely accomplished what he wanted to get his truth out. And to me, and I probably to him as well, it's a win. He even said on the stand that it doesn't really matter how this case turns out. I just wanted everybody to know that I am a victim of DV. And I just want my voice heard. And his voice was heard. It's going to take a lot for me to change my mind. They were this morning. They were talking to a orthopedic doctor about his finger that got sliced off supposedly in a fight where she threw a bottle at him, and apparently it landed on his finger and sliced part of it off. And yeah, it gets pretty hairy and pretty graphic at times. But the things that Miss Heard talked about, I shouldn't even be saying her name. I hope I don't get in trouble. The things that she talked about, a lot of people are getting in trouble for talking about this case, but I'm not monetized, so the injuries that she described from the Australia fight definitely, definitely would have warranted medical intervention. And yet she states that she didn't go to a doctor. She saw a doctor several days after the incident. The doctor didn't make any notations in her medical record of that day that he noticed any injuries to her body. She claimed she had bruises on her feet, cuts on her feet, cuts on her arms. She claimed to so many things that would have put her in the hospital. I think I said that in part one. To me, it's just all stories. It's just all stories. I don't know, what the jury's going to say. At this point, if I was a juror, I would be very much against her. And this craziness of her answering to the jury all the time. They ask her a question, she'll talk to the jury, and make up her stories. And, it's unnerving. And I watch, lawyers on YouTube making videos about her doing that, and that a lot of the jurors are actually turning their chairs towards the attorney who is talking to her to avoid her stares, because she's staring at them all the time and talking to them like that. And it's unnerving them too. I don't know. Um, it's really a tough call, I think. Even though, her stories are not very believable, all it takes is one person in the jury to say, you know, uh, he didn't defame her and we'll give him money. They may not give him the full 50, was it 50 million or something like that? I don't know. I mean, they could very well say that neither one of them defamed each other, right? It's very possible because they did have a toxic relationship. And this big thing is that Johnny has drug issues. A lot of people have drug issues. That doesn't mean that they hurt people that they're with, right? That's basically all they were basing this all on, was his problems with substances and how he acts on substances, which is, I don't know. It's a mind-boggling case to me, and it'll be interesting to see what the jury says about it. So those are my thoughts. I know they're a little bit mixed up, but it's just a mixed up situation. You get one story from her that other people are saying, contradicting her. Some people are agreeing with her. And it's like, who the heck do you believe, right? Johnny was direct with his testimony. He sat forward like you're supposed to do when you are on the stand, talking to the attorney, not talking to the jury all the time and freaking them out. Uh, yeah, it's crazy. But we shall see what happens, and I will probably do another video next week after the verdict, and we'll see what happens. Everybody have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.